So, as I said, we are here to have a press release conference pertaining to contractors that work on the URP that have not been paid. So, the media, you all are right?
Long time.
Press release number 1, press statement by myself on behalf of the contractors of the URP Agriculture and Law Program, Sunday, June 15, 2014. Dear members of the media, gentlemen, contractors. The President, good morning and thank you for attending this media conference and giving us the contractors who provided services to the state the opportunity to respond to the statement by the Minister of Works and Infrastructure to the post-cabinet press conference last week to clear our names. Judge for yourself. It is not ironic that while the Minister of Works and Infrastructure now mislabeled us as liars and dishonest persons, claiming that we did not perform the services just before in the Parliament. The same minister boasted of the same work done by us for accomplishment of this government. Members of the media, if you contract persons to perform works of those works, claim credit for the benefits of those works, and then refuse to pay for those works, do you share our opinion that somehow that this is inconsistent with the good governance and fairness and not forthright? Is that the way of manage government business? You tell me. As minister in the government who know those works were requested by the government and done by us, somehow one minister who claims the work was not done, as that person knows that the work was done according to verified costs, but the person labeled the contractors as dishonest and as thieves. Think of yourself who is lying to you or who is trying to fool you. Where does the truth reside? Let me give you a brief history. Contractors were called out on it and engaged by the Deputy Program Manager of the URP Program Agriculture Unit in May and June 2013. We were invited to attend site visits for various projects in the government program to mitigate flooding, develop agricultural access road, and other items that affected the country. 289 projects in 10 agricultural constituencies were awarded to 57 contractors, estimated at a cost of 160 million. Ladies and gentlemen, an important document was provided for you. You will see that the document is an audit report by the Central Audit Committee of the Investment Division of the Ministry of Finance and the Economy, dated April 15, 2014. That audit was conducted after the projects were completed and time had passed for payment. Please look at paragraph 2, page 2, paragraph 7.2 of the Central Audit Report as the work comments. A contractor who asked to remain anonymous said he was conducting similar works in another electoral district when he was asked to stop all works and proceed to Felicity in the electoral district of Chaguanas West. The contractor claimed that during a meeting in Felicity, the relevant stakeholders' instructions were given by a senior government official that contracts be awarded to small contractors to assist farmers. He also stated that the contractors were instructed to work closely with the farmers who would identify the agricultural works that they needed to be conducted. A total of 118 projects out of the 289 were in the electoral constituency of Chaguanas West to the value of 48 million, and this was to be done during the period of Chaguanas West by-election. The remaining 171 projects, which totaled 68.5 million estimated. Please note that the constituency of Tabaki, for which Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Dr. Surendran Rambachan, is a member of Parliament, got the second largest share of the projects. 53 of projects at the cost of $24 million. From all the government indication, these works are of high priority government agenda and also show that the attention that the government gave to these works priority because of the following. 1, the rainy season was coming. 2, the Chaguanas West by-election was coming. 3, to expedite the projects, the works were classified by the government as emergency. During During the implementation of the projects, the contractors were required to liaise continuously with the farmers who were to benefit from these projects. The members of Parliament, officials of the URP program, the AO4, and officials of the Ministry of Works and the Ministry of Food Production, even the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Food Production visited sites. Some of these visits were documented. The point is that everyone was aware of the work being done and expected the work to be done for government and know the truth of which have enlightened you. Mind you, you must know that the work was supervised by the URP Agriculture Unit. All along the way, the work was done and was documented, supervised, and verified. And all along the way, there was complete satisfaction with the work done by the contractors. Please look at paragraph 10.12 of the government document. Central Audit took note of the good reviews of the entire exercise, with most of the farmers complimented the exercise. As a matter of fact, most of the farmers indicated that they would experience either a significant reduction in flooding or no flooding entirely. As a matter of fact, most of the farmers strongly believe that the completion of the exercise contributed to the increase in food production the country experienced in the fiscal 2013. Imagine that the success of the work was recognized even by the Minister Ramachan, who was later to come to challenge payments. During the budget debate in the House of Representatives on September 17, 2013, Minister Ramachan had this to say. The URP program is capable of performance and the physical evidence of the URP program is there to see. In the URP agriculture, 289 projects have been done at the cost of around 16 billion. Just think about it. What was the public boast of Minister Ramachan? Note that both the goodly minister and we, the contractors, are referring to the same program, the same number of projects, and the same costs. So therefore, we are here to discuss non-payment by the government for the same projects that Minister Ramachan boasted about in Parliament. Yet it is the same minister, a management expert, who is on a campaign to make us look bad in the media, which is unwittingly asked to label us as crooks and thieves. We therefore ask for you to hear our side as citizens just like you. Continuing with the background of the situation, these projects were all completed by August and September 2013. And requests were made for payments. Now, as a result of the structure of the URP program, which today it spans 3 ministries, although the projects are agriculture projects, the processing of the payments are to be done by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Payment was first promised by the middle of October 2013, but this was not done, and every month contractors were asked to hold on. In December 2013, contractors received letters from URP Agriculture to take to the banks because the banks had started to call in contractors who were failing into arrears with their loans. Those letters assured that payments would have been made by December 15, 2013. By February 2014, only 4 contractors were paid and the others had not been paid. Those contractors who had not been paid began making representation to have their invoices settled. Contractors have been seeing real financial trouble, financially and ruin in some instances, causing difficulties with our families. In March 2014, a ministerial team advised by the Minister of Finance and Economy to have the matter investigated, and the Minister of Finance mandated the Central Audit Committee to conduct an audit of the projects. The report of that committee is the report we have already given to you. What is most important are the recommendation of the Central Audit Committee, which reported on page 7 and paragraph 11.1, which states, in the circumstances and given the unique nature of this exercise, Central Audit recommends that payment be made in full for works done on all sites apart for the 4 sites for which payments have already been made. It is also recommended that payments for school trees phases 1 and 2 be deferred until further investigation is conducted by the Central Audit. In addition, since no work is visible at Bison trees phases 1 and 2 and no request for payment seen, it is recommended that no payments be made for these 2 sites. In spite of this Central Audit report, Minister Ramachan then refuses to pay us. contractors for the work he has been boasting about. Contrary to proper procedure for payment, he has gone so far as to have another audit conducted in the same projects, even though central audit has already found that and recommended that the contractors should be paid. What is worse is that the minister has been maligning the character of the contractors. Most recently, the post-cabinet press conference, two Thursdays ago, the minister has been accusing in a very broad way the contractors by being dishonest and imputing that the contractors are attempting to defraud the state. The central audit report proves that Minister Ramachan is wrong, and what he says in course of time will be tested in the courts of law. With the evidence we have offered to you members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that the false allegations against contractors are now settled, and with the findings of the Central Audit Committee made public, we hope that good sense and a modicum of decency could prevail, and that contractors could be relieved of the miseries we have been placed in. Contractors are facing foreclosure from the banks. That cannot be right as government is owing us. Many of us have lost equipment, other properties to the banks, properties we mortgaged to raise the funds to finance these emergency high priority projects of the government. Projects which the government and ministers have been boasting about with the promise to pay and further work. It is time for justice to prevail. Paragraph 10.11 of the report states this: it is the opinion of the central audit that says the contractors have binding agreements, verbal or otherwise. They have a legal expectation to pay for works conducted. Furthermore, based on instruction by which the contractors were required to operate, as mentioned in paragraph 10.4 above, it was expected that there would be variances to the scope of works. Hence, for the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure to consider this fact and attempt to verify the percentage of works completed, which were mainly of a temporary nature, and that 6 months after the date of performance can be seen as a travesty of justice. We wish to advise that since obtaining copies of the Central Audit Report, we have sent copies to the Honorable Prime Minister so that she can be accurately informed as to the facts in this matter. We have also consulted our attorney. We will advise you further of those developments on the road. I thank you for your time, and now invite any questions you may have. I have other additional information. So if any questions, you have a problem with that.
Okay, I just have one question for you. Where is it Mr. Ramachan is disputing certain work done in particular areas? Any area in particular he's disputing, or is he disputing the entire project?
He disputing the entire project. There's no particular area. The entire project.
You mentioned that 4 of the contractors have received payments. How many other contractors are awaiting payment, and what is the sum total of the outstanding payments?
There's 53 contractors that remain to be paid. The documents that you have will have the figure there, as I mentioned before. After you take out the 4 contractors, it will come to about $111 million. Approximately.
You said that you're taking legal action. Could you give us a little more detail about the legal action? What legal steps?
Well, we have discussion with our attorneys, and they have looked at the documentation. Reaction from the collectors will be sent out to the government.
Are you asking for an apology from the minister for his statement?
Certainly we are asking, because in this country, when you label contractors, this country carries thousands of contractors, and we have contractors who are bona fide contractors registered with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. And when you talk about contractor, you talk about all contractors of Trinidad.
When was the last time you reached out to Dr. Ramachan, or has he tried to reach out to you, let's say for the year thus far, after the first contractors were paid for this for?
Well, he did reach out to me on media yesterday, through the radio and Parliament. He woke up to me and said, you need to want to take your audit. So I asked him, so don't you have a copy of the Central Audit? And he just shook his head and went back.
So he's refused to meet with you guys before?
I won't say so. He would call to meet, but he wanted to meet with individuals. And there are contractors here who could have testimony to that. And if you go to meet him individually, I'm sorry. That is not a welcome. You will not be welcome as you're supposed to be at an ordinary citizen trial. I myself personally had went to his office in December to find out about payments. And the negative things that I have received, I am very surprised he is still continuing to seek to try to pay us. How it reached here, I don't know. But I wonder, any other questions?
So have contractors form themselves into any sort of association or a representative body to take the
No, we haven't formed ourselves in no body. We are just contractors who gather and assemble together as you see today. And we discuss among ourselves the actions and what we intend to do, what we intend to carry.
So has the European Agriculture Program been suspended?
No, in fact, let me just say, there are persons who were directly involved with this project from the URP. There are 2 program managers, there are 1 deputy program manager. Those 3 persons were suspended, and 2 other persons was on temporary suspension because they were involved in the project. So we have a total of 5 persons from the URP project and no longer with the program who could give first-hand information. And I want to say today is that the persons who was directly involved in this operation, who we had a liaison with, no sort of communication by the government or by individuals or by the minister with this individual for him to let the information that they would have, how it was done, and nothing of this sort.
But are you afraid of the audit?
No, certainly we are not afraid of audits. And by the way, there are so many times we are called for audits, right? When you call it audit, they started to do audits since November of last year. We're in June now. And the audits have been done. I have not seen or heard of an audit report that was done as a central audit, right? Anytime they have called for us to do audits, we would have made ourselves available, right? Is that some persons who went, and some persons, for some reason, they went with central audit, and they turned that to be the final audit. And as you know, the central audit is from the Ministry of Finance when they do the audit like the life sport and other like EMBD, many others. Those are the same auditors, alleged same auditors, would have conducted the same audit as provided. So in their mind, they know that the final audit was done, right? And as we speak, they have continued calling and continued doing audits. That's what it is. I have a document before me here, and which it states is an agriculture project site visit reported, and is the same. There are contractors here. When the minister would have said it did pay 30 contractors, and not 30 contractors, it's 30 projects with 5 contractors, and each one of them here, right? Audit was done. In fact, I would not say audit, and I would not say verification. This was a site visit. Right?
Right, the 4 contractors who said who got paid, right? What was so special that they alone got paid and you all are still awaiting payment?
Well, the 4 contractors that get paid is very unique to know that in a total of 100, 1 to 289, you have a project number 96, project 97, project 100, and project 101. Right? They was, apparently, I don't know how they was audited, and they were paid. Right? But it is ironic to know the contractors are only contractors because they are all contractors like also GNR Regional Transport, they are contractor Villamar General, Design Hardware and Plumbing, and you have actual general contractors. Now all these contractors here, and a lot of this work was done in JRMC Mangal constituency. Now it's alleged some of these contractors are affiliated with the individual member parliament, right? So when I go back to this site visit record here, It goes to, and you look at the numbers, they are selected contractors have been sent to the so-called auditors, I would say. Because when you look at audit, the persons that are going to do the audit, what is their credentials? When you look at the auditors who would have done the audit for Ministry of Finance, what is behind their name is ACCA, and one individual is FCCA, MCP. Those are auditors. What we have here is engineering assistant. And even the engineering assistant who have done, you'll see in your package, where they have conducted an audit, and recommend that payments be made. Now they are on suspension, pending this whole verification exercise until it's finished, then they may get back their job. Any other question? Ladies and gentlemen and the media, I have a possession here too that some questions that were asked by Minister Ramachan, even some other ministers. And I want to give the answers to these two also. Right? So we alleviate the fears and people, and I want you to be brave and strong and stand up on your 2 feet as gentlemen, as contractors, and don't allow people to intimidate you or bully you. Right? You must stand strong. We have documents in our possession. We can feed to each and every one of you all here to ensure that at the end of the day, you have been remunerated for what work you have done. I'm sure that every one of us here would understand that once you do your work and you perform credibly outside there and all the was accepted, you must be paid. So the questions that were asked, and I'm going to do it very slow. One of the questions, it starts early o'clock. He said no contract document was submitted. This was the first question they asked. Documents were signed by the duly authorized agents of the state and was forwarded to contractors. One, the award letter. The award letter was signed. The scope of work was signed by the duly authorized personnel, which is about 6 personnel. And the following are: 1, the special program coordinator; 2, the coordinator agriculture, now Ministry of Food Production; the program manager; the permanent secretary, Ministry of Food Production; the permanent secretary of the OPM, the Office of the Prime Minister, and the Minister of Food Production. All these individuals, I want to reiterate, all these individuals would have signed the scope of works, right? Understand what I'm saying? They will sign the scope of works which you have in your possession for works to be carried out. Then it goes out to state again. Ramachan said that we are part of a ghost gang. We are not, but we have documents to show you who are the ghost gangs. And I just want to let the media know and the general public, we are bona fide contractors registered by the Ministry of Legal Affairs. And we don't conduct works or be any ghosts anyway. So if it is we have legal documents, then all the persons signed these documents are forged signatories. So we refer back to question number 1, right? So they are saying that we have photocopy and they want to take us to the forged court. So Mr. Ramachan said that contractors are not showing up for audits. Probably works was not done. Listen to the answers and listen to the information very well. URP senior civil engineer requested information on the projects from his engineering team findings, documented and submitted on the 1st of October 2013, also and signed by the Minister of Food Production and his permanent secretary. The documents are there for you to see. We will provide you with documents. Contractors were informed by the Ministry of Works auditor through the Special Projects Coordinator, URP, that they don't want no contractors on site while auditing. This was passed on to us by the goodly gentleman, right? Here's the reason for not showing up on many of these projects, because when sometimes contractors were on site, they were humiliated by the persons that went on those audits. That is why some of them, they were disrespected and they choose not to go. And this was said that they don't want no contractors while we are auditing, right? Contractors here could attest to that. Through the Special Projects Coordinator, in collaboration with the Central Audit Auditor, each contractor was contacted and was present on site to verify their projects. Now, Central Audit Auditors, in collaboration with the with the URP Deputy Program Manager, went out on site. He is the individual contacted all the contractors, and personally, myself and other contractors, we have driven to all the projects that work was carried out. Right? And Central Audit Committee completed this audit and was submitted in the middle of April. Contractors claiming for works that was not done, and this have been continually sent by Minister Ramachan. Documentary evidence, photos, YouTube, also URP audit are there for us, anybody to see, and we can make available for anybody, anytime, any place to show you. And 9 months later, conducted the certain works. 9 months we conducted the certain works. And to add to that, I want to my attention this morning that we have contractors are being mobilized in some of these areas that we have done this work, executing the said work that we have done already. So 9 months you take, so you understand what happens there, right? And in many instances and many areas, you have works being carried out presently as we speak. They say the figures was double up. Well, to the media, ladies and gentlemen, that question is not answered by you. That has to be answered by the Ministry of Works. We can answer that. Why phases were split up? Those are questions was asked. This is a question for the Minister of Works to answer. And the team that they have to answer that, not us. We are not public servants, we are contractors. Dr. Ramayan said they found some discrepancies in work that was done. What was the discrepancies? You said that there are discrepancies. You have not named any discrepancies. Right? So then I will refer to the Central Audit Committee, which is a comprehensive report which you get every single thing. All your answers to your questions are in it. Dr. Ramachan said 30 contractors will be paid this past week, and the check was pretty well made up. Did you all hear that in the media? This, however, never materialized. Correction. 20 projects were listed on a site visit report, and 5 contractors named, not 30 contractors. I had a document here to show you. There's 5 contractors. Right? So, members of the media, this is a part of a question and answer. I just want to leave this with you because I guess any questions, well, I'm very, very much surprised that the media don't know more questions. I think we are self-explanatory, and if there's any further documentation that you so wish to have, we will only be so happy to provide you with it. And I will leave a thought with everybody in their mind. There is a higher court than courts of justice, and that is the court of conscience. It supersedes all other courts. Ladies and gentlemen, the media, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you, the media personnel, for braving the weather, for being here. All contractors, I especially want to pay a special thank for all the media for being here. Thank you very much, and you have a pleasant day. If the media so wish to interview any one of the contractors, we have a problem.